The addition of members that took place officially from the 1st of January 2024, which was decided upon during the 15th BRICS Summit in Johannesburg, has strengthened BRICS in a multitude of ways. Let's take Africa, for example. The country that was chosen to join is Ethiopia. Ethiopia is the seat for the African Union. That carries lots of symbolic capital. And for BRICS itself, that move serves as symbolic investment. It's not a form of solidarity, but it's investment in the sense that BRICS then gains traction, meaning that AU itself and Ethiopia will be more palatable to BRICS, and BRICS will be more palatable to the entire continent because the seat of African Union is in Ethiopia. That is the first one that I can just mention. In terms of resources, majority countries, we can point at Iran, we can point at AU. Iran also might be in the seat that we see Russia, whereby there are some people or some bodies or some institutes who sought or thought it will be better for the world to sanction sales of Iranian oil. Iran is now within BRICS with massive amounts of oil. We've got the United Arab Emirates with oil as well. So what does that do with the BRICS power in terms of natural resources that are primarily in the vicinity or availability of the BRICS itself? That is the second part. The third part, it is in sheer global numbers. Now we've moved to the Middle East. We've added another African nation. So it means in terms of demographics, BRICS has grown. When you grow demographics coupled with resources, what does that mean? That means new production for sustainable development, number one. GDPs within BRICS itself grows. The entire GDP of BRICS itself, which now surpasses that of G7, grows immensely. But the last one, BRICS now has founded its new markets. The sustainable development is not only a one-way issue now. We've got a new cycle, a new economic loop to play around. Maybe that is what pushes entire BRICS members and its populations to say, let's get rid of this payment system and get to this payment system. Because all conditions are in place. We've got resources in terms of oil, gold, bauxite, manganese. The list is long. We've got demographics, which has grown with this expansion of these new 5 countries. That means new markets. New markets means more profit. Not profit for profit's sake, but it also lays a foundation for access to these goods. Because the problem of the last 60 years is that both Africa and other regions of the world or regions of the global south have been trying to lock into existing economic loops. And these economic loops, they will allow the global south to lock into it with conditionalities. Remember we mentioned that joining BRICS has got no fee. There's no membership fee. There's no entrance fee. You contribute with what you already have in a strategic manner. What is your strategic position globally? What is your strategic position in the region? So when we take all those advantages and put them together in the BRICS table, that is what has happened with the addition of these new members. They all come carrying gifts to the table, to the bigger table of BRICS. But one main thing is these 3 factors I've mentioned. Resources grow, bigger demographics for sustainable development, and that means new markets in a new economic loop. Actually, that's what makes other nations of the global north or developed nations, That's what makes them nervous. That here is a new market which has got its own behavior, its own cycle. For the first time, you are going to see the global north wanting to lock into a new economic cycle, which has never happened globally. It has been always the global south wanting to lock into existing global north markets. That's what BRICS has managed to do so far.
Okay. How does BRICS place itself in terms of geopolitics and the global governance, so to speak? And
you stated that, or in your question, you mentioned that it seems as if BRICS, it's all about economy. I would like to twist that question, that comment or question a little bit. What is happening? The financial part of BRICS is the means to an end. It's not an end in itself. BRICS reiterates just distribution of goods, inclusion, and having the global south recognized for what it is. That's why one of the principles of BRICS, it is to reform the global market system. So we're talking about just distribution of life itself, because if you've got no GDP growth and your GDP is too low, it means even life expectancy in that particular nation or region is very low. It means your people cannot get educated. It means there is a knowledge gap. It means your people cannot access goods that other nations access. That is beyond finance. Also, there's a question in the hierarchies built by former formations of nations and global regions. Those hierarchies have left a stigma in the international community. So that is the stigma that BRICS wants to get rid of. So the growing of instruments and principles and ways of implementing finance in a just manner is the means to an end, is not an end itself. An end is to have this globalization with just multilateralism, if I can put it like that, whereby every citizen of the world can partake in the resources of the world, can have an active voice, can access goods that we need for a certain nation or specific people without any conditionalities, then bringing yourself with goods that you have. That's why when you ask the question of what is the addition of BRICS member states, what effect did they have on BRICS? Demographics. They bring their resources, that creates new markets. Even if the global north wanted to ignore BRICS, it cannot afford to ignore BRICS, because that is a new economic loop system. Look, BRICS has not even come to totally rationalize the issue of common payments. But some nations are already shaking, because they're not shaking because they're going to lose money. They are shaking because they are going to lose power to dictate over global south. That is the crux of the matter. Because nature doesn't allow vacuum. There was vacuum of power in the global south ever since colonization went away or imperialism went away. But it could still affect or impact on the citizens of the global south. Why? There was no rationalized or abstracted structure that could be implemented to unite the people of the global south. And I think BRICS is moving into that previously empty space, and it's creating an economic loop.